Hi guys, who's here? Tell me who's here. Yay, hi. Okay. I'm gonna do a really super quick Periscope because I need to go get my son and I'm gonna be late. But I really need to talk about this because so I'm running this course on spirit guides in October, and people keep telling me that they can't do it because channeling their spirit guide is not for them, and it's not true. Anyone can channel their spirit guide. Anybody can work with their guides. You don't need some kind of special skill or training or anything. Like, everybody can do this. So I'm going to be talking about this today because it's so super important. Hi, Swapna. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, cool. This is so fun. If you agree with what I'm saying, send me hearts, because I love hearts, and I want to know, if you guys agree that anybody can do this. You don't need to be anything else but you. You. That's it. Just you. You are enough. You are enough. Always enough. So there's so much mystery around this whole channeling and spirit guide stuff, and I just want to dispel some of it because it's unnecessary, and it kind of creates this barrier to spiritual wisdom and spiritual work that I really don't think is needed. So I want to just dispel a couple of myths, or what I think are myths. So I've convinced you, yeah? I hope so. I want to convince loads of people, to allow this for themselves, because it's just really fun and really cool, and it'll totally help you create your life and your business with intention. So I'm just going to dispel a couple of myths before I go get my kid at school. So the first one is that you don't have to be this like, hey, woo, living in the sky, crystal loving, tree hugging, barefoot running around in the grass kind of person. I am not that person, right? So I'm not the person who sits there and meditates all day and who loves to run around outside barefoot, or I don't take out my crystals all the time. Like, I have crystals. I need to learn to use them better, actually. So you don't have to be that kind of person. You don't, you just don't. You can be a completely just you. I don't know how else to phrase this. Like, all you need to be is you. You don't need to you don't need to be what spiritual has become kind of in the world. This label of spiritual person or woo-woo person. Like, it's not logical, and it's not I don't know, like it's just considered something that's not useful, or not real, or something kind of imagined and crazy, and it doesn't have to be that way, like that's kind of my stereotypical spiritual person, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can be you plus spiritual. It's kind of like when I had my son, like, I thought that I would magically become like this mother person who has patience, for example, and it was like this huge shock to me in the first few weeks of his life, that I was just me. I was the same person I'd always been, just me, no patience, and mother, and suddenly a mother. And it's the same with the spiritual thing. Like, you can just be you, the same person you've always been, and spiritual, and talk to your guides. And that kind of brings me to the second myth. We are also, that's really the basis of all my work, is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So I completely agreed with that, and it doesn't mean that we have to be a certain way here, right? Doesn't mean that we have to be all solely all the time. So it kind of brings me to my second myth, which is that you don't have to leave logic at the door. Right? So the two can coexist. Like, you won't suddenly lose your ability to reason. You won't. Like, it's still gonna be you. If you're a logical person, and you I can't read that question. Have you talked to your guide about ETs? I don't know if that's a real question or not a real question. I can talk about that some other time. So you don't have to leave logic at the door. If you use logic to work out stuff, that's fine. This will just complement that. So you don't have to completely change your whole way of being or your whole personality, or become like super crazy. So yeah, that's not needed. And you don't have to have been doing it since you were born. So this is another kind of misconception, that you're born with this ability. Some people are born with this ability to channel their spirit guide, to work with the spiritual. That's in a certain sense true, because everyone is born with the ability, but the fact that you haven't been using it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you can't start right now. You know, that you can't start today, because you totally can. This is a learned skill. I didn't use my ability for years and years and years. And, you know, and then suddenly it became the right time to start using it. So yeah, so don't be afraid, you know, it's all it takes. And I have a little list of what you do need. So those were the things you didn't need. And all you need to do to channel your spirit guide, to start working with your spiritual guide team, is number one, you need to want to. Yeah, so if you don't want to, if this is not your cup of tea, then fine. You know, that's not a problem. It doesn't mean that you won't accomplish your goals, or that your life will somehow be worse. No, it's not like that, you know. But if you're curious, and if you understand, if you feel that it might change things in your life in some way, or add something, then why not try, right? So if you want to. Number two is you need to choose to, and choose is an action word, right? So you need to take it from that wanting space of ego, of I want that and I want that. Well, if you want it, if you choose for it, then do something about that and choose to step into that relationship, yeah? So action, take action on that. And the third one is stay open to how it shows up, because it's different for everybody. And just because like I got a name from my guide doesn't mean that you'll get a name from your guide. Just because like I feel stuff doesn't mean that that's how it'll show up for you. Perhaps you will see things in meditation instead, right? So for everybody it's different, and all those ways are right. So when you explore your spiritual connection, the point is not for me to teach you how to do something. It's to kind of hold space for you as you explore what that spiritual connection feels like for you, and so that you can learn to trust it. That's all it is. I swear, that's all it is. So, anybody have any questions? I saw a question about a force field, and we can talk about that some other time. I haven't spoken to my guides about force fields now. Anybody else with questions? If you want to work with this, a source field, sorry. No, you know, I actually still need to get into a space where I have these long discussions with my guides. So I talk to my guides every day about kind of what I'm creating, but I don't really have kind of philosophical discussions with them, although I probably should, because it's really interesting. So I am running this course in October. If anybody wants to move from that want space, I want to know more about my guides, to I choose to work with my guides, then I invite you to work with me in October. Yes, Brooke, we're all connected. We're all connected, and that's and this is where all this wisdom is coming from, right? And this is why this is becoming more and more popular, and why people are stepping into it more. So the more of us do it, the more of us will want to do it as well. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this. No, you can't. I don't know how to write it so that you can see it. So the URL is createyourworld.me/spiritguides. And there you'll find all the information about what I'm doing in October. And I would love to support you as you explore your own connection and start working with your guides and actually start using that guidance to create something. Yes, everyone has a spirit guide. So, and probably even more than one, you know. So I really believe that as soon as you make that choice to step into that relationship, that guide will show up. And I'm not, you know, I'm here in a human experience too, so there's only so much information that I have. But from what I understand, some guide relationships, I don't know if all, are concluded before we come. So we kind of agree that we have these guides. And then while we're here, I guess we can make a conscious choice about that. How many guides do I have? I have 4 at the moment. Although one has kind of stepped back, to be honest, because I had one guide specifically to help me or to encourage me to show up in a bigger way in the world, and I feel like I'm doing that at the moment. So he stepped back for the time being. So I haven't talked to him for a long time. So I'm left with 3 at the moment. Right. Now, I'd love to take your questions, but I do have to go get my son. He still has to be my priority. Can they connect through numerology? Yeah, they do. I mean, they can communicate with all sorts of things. So one of my favorite ones, if you see on the clock, 1111, 1111, then that's your angels or guides communicating with you, usually something about your path. Do my guides argue with questions that I ask? I think I do most of the arguing in our relationship. So like, I often don't like the answers they give me and I want more, or I want something more specific. So I keep kind of pestering for more specifics. So, and in fact, what that's created is that the answers I get are now pretty specific, because like, it's a relationship like any other. You need to kind of set it up in a way that works for you, So if you're not happy with something, you say so, and then you work together to change it. How do I know that they're trying to contact me? Well, the way I experience it is I feel it, in fact, they don't try to contact me. I'm kind of in constant contact with them. So I feel it through, like I close my eyes and I can feel something filtering through. So I can actually, I really resonate with the word channel, because I actually feel like I am channeling something through me. It actually feels like that to me. But it doesn't always. It really depends. And I know, and I can kind of feel my guide on this side. And I was talking to someone the other day. They're like, oh, that's really weird on this side. Yeah. And they said, that's really weird because I always feel them in the back. So it's really different for everybody. So yeah, so if you want to work on your spirit guide connection, then I invite you to createyourworld.me/spirit guides. If you want to talk further, oh, thank you for the hearts. I really have to go. If you want to talk further, then I run a group on Facebook called You Can Create Your World, or just look me up, Joanna Hennon, and let's connect and we can talk about it some more. And I'll probably be back on Periscope tomorrow talking about this again, because it's coming up a lot. And I really want to dispel these myths. Anybody can do this, guys. So yes, I hope you guys step into it in whatever way feels right to you. And yeah, okay, I'm going to go to the school now. Bye.